All right, it's springtime, so you know what that means. It's time to get that bicycle out. So we want to make sure you are riding safe on your bike. So the first thing when you take your bike out for the winter, you want to make sure it is all tuned up. You're going to need a few tools. What tools you need is going to depend on your bike. So talk to your adult partners about what you're going to need for tools for your bike. So you want to make sure your brakes are nice and tight, make sure they're working good, make sure your seat and handlebars are tight. Sometimes over the winter time, the cooling and heating can make those loosen up. Make sure they're nice and tight. You don't want the handlebars to pull out while you're riding. You don't want the seats to slip while you're riding. And you definitely want your brakes working. You want to make sure your tires are fully inflated. If you look at the side of the tire, it's going to tell you how full to fill the tires. These tires fill to 60 psi. These tires fill to 40 psi. So it depends on the bike and it depends on the tires. So you're going to need a tire inflator like this, or a manual one, whatever you have. Make sure it's there. If your tires are too low, then it's going to make it hard to ride. And if they're too full, they can actually pop while you're riding. You really wouldn't want that. Last thing with maintenance, you want to lube some things up. Sometimes moisture gets into the moving parts over the winter, so a little WD-40 will help that out. So I like to put a little bit in my axles, a little bit in my chain area, and ride around, and I'll get in there and make sure everything is all good to go. Last thing, safety. Make sure you are riding safe. First rule of safety, wear a helmet. Make sure it fits. Make sure you buckle that chin strap. All right, make sure that chin strap is tight enough that it can't go over your chin. So when you're riding, if you're riding on the trail, make sure you are being courteous of anybody else on the trail, bikers or walkers. If you're riding on the road, make sure you stay on the correct side of the road. Paul, what side of the road do we ride on?
Always on the right side.
Yeah, we ride on the right side of the road. Bicycles are supposed to follow the same rules of traffic as cars do. A lot of people don't do that, but they're supposed to. Right? When you're riding on the road, it's important to know your turn signals when you're riding. If you're going to do a right turn, to let somebody know what you're going to do behind you, you put your left arm like this. Right? If you're doing a left turn, put it out straight like that. If you're going to stop, hand signals down like that. So those are the basic safety rules. Make sure you're always in sight of your adult partner, or with their permission, make sure that they know exactly where you are if they do let you go a little further. And always have a buddy.